Hi guys, I wanted to share with you the TEKS, the new TEKS for 2017, how I've come to understand how to read them, how to break them down, and how to then in turn plan my lessons out for the year. So this document here I have only found in a PDF format online. I will link down below so that you can find it as well. This is the Human Services, so for you new teachers, when you hear the word TEKS, as I did, I was like, what is that? So TEKS is essential knowledge and skills. Of course, this is per the state of Texas, what you, the teacher, have to teach the students the knowledge and the skill. So when they leave your class after you're done teaching this course, this is what they have to know, okay? Alright, so within the Human Services cluster, you'll find Principles of Human Services, which is 9th grade, and then Principles of Cosmetology, Design and Color Theory, Introduction to Cosmo 1 and 2 as well. So for this video's purposes, this we're pretty familiar with, but this one was somewhat still new. So I'm teaching this school year at our school district here in Pasadena. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the Principles of Human Services 1. Okay, so again, this document can be found online. So when you get to your first section here, okay, you have your TEKS. So for Human Services, okay, this is just the information about the TEKS. It's just like the rules, okay? That's just how they're implemented, the times, dates, and things of the sort. Not too much you have to focus or worry about, okay? This next one here, we have Principles of Human Services. This is what we're focusing on, okay? There's 3 letters, A, B, and C. A is just your prereqs and your number of credits. Okay, that's the information. B, this section here, is going to be the introduction. Pretty much it tells you about the about the Principles of Human Services course and what the class should be about. Okay, and then C is where you're going to actually see the knowledge and the skills that you, the teacher, have to teach the student. Okay, within C you have 9 sections. Your first section here, and I'll pull this down here. Your first section here is bottom of page 2, top of page 3 is section 1. Number 1, okay, and that one is going to be covering business and industry, okay. In the book that we have for our school for 9th grade principles, this is our book right here, and it is called Skills for Personal and Family Living. So what I do is I open it up to my chapter, my contents, and so my table of contents, I want to see what chapters are going to match that particular section. That does take a while, especially if you're not familiar with the book. Alright, so in my section 1, okay, which is section 1A through E, all of these, all this knowledge and skills is what I need to teach my student of business and industry. Chapters 1 and 3 go best with this section. Okay, so that's how I know I'm covering chapters 1 and 3. Alright, moving right along to the second section. It's going to cover high skill, high wage, high demand careers. So it's focusing on careers. So the chapters are 4 and 5 from that book. Then the third section is going to be consumer services. Chapters 10, 11 fit best. And the fourth section, A through H, this knowledge and skill, that's under counseling and mental health. That's chapter 6 and 7. Okay? Turning the page, we have section 5, and this is under early childhood development and services, and that gets covered by chapter 8 and 9. This next one, section 6, okay, it's family and community services. This is chapters 12 through 18. Section 7 is fashion design, chapters 19 to 21. Section 8, which is the bottom of page 4, top of page 5. Section 8 is going to cover interior design, which is covered by chapter 23 and 25, okay, or through 23 and 25. And then the last section is section 9, which is personal care services, and this doesn't cover necessarily by that book, or I will not be using that book anymore. I will be using the new blue Milady, one of the Milady books, the blue one. And so I'm going to cover cosmetology, and I'm going to use the Milady book and the TDLR CIB and the rule book, and I'll be covering the soft chapters that we don't get a chance to cover as much later in the other grades. So chapters 1, 6, 7, 9, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 24, and 27. And again, they're limited to what they can do because they're not in cosmetology yet, but just a demo or introduction to the world of cosmetology, so that when they get excited for their next year, their sophomore year. Okay, so what I do, or let me go ahead and get my stuff together here. So what I do from here, once I go through and I read everything that is covered underneath those sections. So remember, the knowledge and the skills is what you need to teach the student. That's what they need to know. When you're done with this section, they should be able to do all of this or know all of this, okay? Again, whether you use this textbook or a different book, it doesn't matter. Just make sure your chapters match and support what you're covering, okay? And that way you're in compliance. All right, so then what I do from here is I go ahead and get my school calendar that the district puts out, and we go by 6 weeks, and we have 37 weeks. So I outline my weeks, okay? And then I determine how many weeks are within each 6 weeks. So my first 6 weeks, we have 5 weeks. And then the rest, second 6 weeks, third 6 weeks, etc. And then our last 6 weeks, the sixth 6 weeks, we have more than 6 weeks, which is weird to me, but that's just how it's structured, okay? So what I do is I figure out, okay, where does Skills USA? Okay, Skills USA is in February, so that is the fourth 6 weeks. Okay, well, Cooter is something else that we teach with our district, so that has to be, it's assigned for us, so it's assigned in the third, at the beginning of the third 6 weeks. I start the salon projects for Skills USA competition. I start that at the beginning of the school year, so I need interior design here. So what I do is I lay out my agenda for the school year. Then I go through, and each one of my sections, okay, whether it be early childhood development, family and community service, fashion design, whatever these sections are, I put them wherever I need or want them for my school year. So, for example, I need interior and fashion design my second 6 weeks, because during fashion design I teach about texture, how to take care of your tools, like different things like that. So this here, the law of color, so this here I need at the beginning because I'm going to be using it the rest of the school year. Interior design, we start a salon project, so Skills USA introductions and all that, so I need that at the beginning, okay? So what I do is I take each one of my 9 sections, okay, and I divide them up evenly, of course, because I need to, be mindful of my time frame. So I put them in whatever order I want. If you're more linear, then you can start with the number 1 and go all the way to number 9. I for sure like 9 at the end. Number 9 is going to be personal care services. This is where I teach cosmetology. I want a whole 6 weeks on this, and I want the most I can get out of my 6 weeks, which is my last one that has all of these weeks in it. So this is where I'm going to teach all of those soft chapters, getting them ready to step into cosmetology, okay? So I need that there, and then I put the rest, organize it however I need. So for example, interior design, Okay, so with interior design, I wanted that first, so just section 8 and then section 7. Okay, it doesn't matter what order you teach it in, just as long as you teach it. Okay, and so here interior design is chapters 23 to 25. So 23 and 24 on the 6th week of school is what I'm going to teach those chapters. They're small, so I reviewed them, so I know I can teach them all within both of them in 1 week. And then chapter 25, and then week 8, this is October. So these are pretty easy chapters, so I knew I was going to have a week available so that I had small chapters together, and then I have a week available to be able to teach stage makeup since it's in October. So I have that week no chapter, and then fashion design comes down to chapter 19, and then 2021 during week 10, and then the last week of that 6 weeks is chapter 22 under fashion design. So that's how I break down, and of course you have to go through all your chapters, your book, and all of that and break it down. Okay, so once I have this done, then I go ahead, and that's kind of my draft, and then I go ahead and have my year at a glance. So, alright, so then this is the next step. After completing all of this, I'm going to transfer over here to my final draft. Now this is the Principles of Human Services. Right now it says Cosmetology, but it needs to be changed. I used the red skills book and then the blue Milady book for this course. And it's the YAG, the Year at a Glance. Our Kate Department for our district, Korean Technical Education, they came up with this. So the purpose of this document is this is in our system, in our computer system, and I go ahead and make this out for the school year. And let's say that I were to leave the district or stop teaching there, whatever the case may be. The person that's going to come in after me to teach this class or course doesn't have to start from scratch. They already have somewhat of a foundation. Whether they want to teach it like this or change it is up to them, but then everybody is on the same page across the board, across the district. Alright, so how this reads is here's the week. I adapted it to my needs, but here's the week and the chapter. So it's 37 weeks. And next to it is what chapter I'm covering that particular week, which all this information I get from here that I've already done. And then what you see in black, those are the TEKS. So whatever I find here that I have to cover, this is what, that's what the name of the chapter or whatever topic or whatever I'm covering for that week. What's in yellow is just the fun lessons that or activities that I'm going to be doing or incorporating that week for that lesson so that it makes it fun and interesting. I don't lose them with just the bookwork and paperwork that's not cosmetology related just yet, but I try to relate it as much as I can because they are going into the cosmetology pathway. So here, for example, orientation, there's no chapter, but team building, goals, goal setting, the goal journal, and then the eyebrow design. I want to teach them that the first week of school. I want them to go home at the beginning of the school year, first day of school. I want them to go home knowing that they learned something that day. I don't want them to wait a week of their orientation and then the next week, then it's theory and then more theory, and then finally the second 6 weeks they get to do something hands-on. Whether it be on a mannequin or it be on a head sheet or on themselves or whatever your classroom calls for. It's always important to make sure that the student learns something related to your class, cosmetology, culinary, computer science, whatever it is, that first day or that first week, just so they get that excitement, because remember, they're there, they chose to be at that school in our case, or they chose to pick that particular pathway and they're eager to learn. So if you start off teaching them something right off the bat, they go home, they're excited, they come back the next day eager and ready to learn whatever else you have to teach them. And that's why we're there to teach them. So, and then teacher responsible on this side is just, for example, if two of us were teaching this, I would be responsible this first 6 weeks, and then whatever other teacher was responsible for putting together the second 6 weeks. It's a collaboration piece, but I'm teaching it myself, so then my name names all in this column. So this document here you can find on my website. I will also link it down below so that you guys can check it out in the PDF format. So that is available as well. Now, along with the website, you will also find my syllabus. And the syllabus just has some information. And this information in the syllabus, I also add my year at a glance. I just take the basic information, but the reason why I add it is because two reasons. One, I want the students to be excited. Okay, I want them to know what they're going to learn. I want them to understand that there's bookwork we have to do, but then I'm also going to make it fun for them. Okay. Another thing is we have the classroom rules here on the syllabus, and it states that if you are not going to be able to participate, I need a parent letter letting me know you can't shampoo your hair, you can't get your nails done, you can't paint your face for face painting, you can't, whatever the case may be. Because sometimes, let's say, like in Cosmo 1 we teach, or Cosmo 2 we teach acrylics. And the students, they all have nails done around that time, and then, they're working in partners, they're doing each other's, or their own hands, and they say, no, I can't because I have nails. And then, you have an odd number, it throws your numbers off, and they think they can sit there and do nothing, and then you have to take the time to find another assignment for them, and you have to run around too much. So this way, it teaches them, okay, we're doing acrylics, or we're doing shampooing, or we're doing whatever you're doing, be ready, because you're going to bring your makeup, because we're going to do facials, and you're going to remove your makeup, I'll give you time to put your makeup back on, or whatever your lesson or week or day calls for. But this way, the parents and the students know that it is a rule that they have to participate in class. Okay. And the main important part why I put this in my syllabus for parents and students to see is so that it's an accountability piece. So it holds me, the teacher, accountable to make sure that I'm on top of my game, that I'm teaching and the students and offering the best, that I can from myself and for their education, and making sure that I stay somewhat on track. Now, it does also state in the syllabus down at the bottom that, sometimes, things do go off, or we have testing or whatnot, so I am able to change this around as needed or necessary. I'm sorry, and that was on this page, but it does have something for the parents and the students to sign as well. So that's the Principles of Human Services, and then I also have the 10th grade, the Introduction to Cosmetology. We use the Blue Milady book, and then this also is the same layout. The black is what is in the TDLR outline and TEKS of what needs to be taught, and then of course the yellow is the fun lessons. This in a PDF form can be found along with the syllabus on my website, which I will link down below. So hopefully that helped you out some in understanding a little bit more about TEKS, how to read them, how to organize your papers, your lessons, your structure for your school year. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you out. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I understand that, not everybody is going to agree with this. Not everybody likes to plan out a year and ahead, and that's okay. That's not a problem. There's 100 ways to skin a cat, right? Like how they say. But it's just an idea for those new teachers that maybe don't know what TEKS are, or don't have a good grasp or good understanding, then don't have that support of, hey, there's someone, to help me out and support me and mentor me through my first year of teaching. So hopefully this will help some of you guys start out. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great one.